Sound Off.
Rated T14.
Does young people even need a voice in this community? What can the community expect from this show?
I am my brother's keeper. We got to be responsible for each other.
It's okay to be different. Building stronger communities by helping the rest of our community really make it and achieve their dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go!
Welcome back to Sound Off, heard weekly on your favorite radio station. And at Sound Off, we try to deal with topics that are relevant to our youth. And the conversation continues as it relates to teen pregnancy prevention. But just in case we picked up some new listeners from the last segment, team members, would you like to introduce yourselves at this time?
My name is Brandon Frazier.
My name is DeAndre Campbell.
What's up? It's your girl, Michelle DeBerry.
Hey, how you doing? It's Mercedes.
Hey, I'm Jasmine Smith.
And this is Raekwon Groover.
And I do agree.
And I would just jump right in. For the community, I would say just to develop a voice. You know, they're our children. You know, we know. You know, as the adults, we know the consequences. I mean, we could read statistics from here on to the end of the world. You know, in regards to teen pregnancy, in regards to the birth rate, the poverty, what happens, all of the negatives that come behind it. So just develop a voice for the community programs that's out there. If you do have a component of your program that discusses issues like teen pregnancy prevention and youth mentor, then develop a voice, get out there, find a way to inform the kids that the information is there. Get the information. Sometimes you're going to have to come out of your comfort zones. Right. So you're not going to, be able to wait for them to come to your offices or come to your particular program steps. You might have to get out in the community where they are. You might have to go, down the block. You might have to go to the schools. You might have to go out and get, make the first or the initial contact with them. Again, we're the ones with the information, so it's ultimately our responsibility to get the information to those who need it.
Good point.
And like what Mr. Jared was saying, like, I know from my point of view, the community is a big part in this because, like, I go to my mom and I talk to her about anything, but sex is one thing that I really just feel uncomfortable, and I really don't want to talk to her about that. So when you hear it from someone else, you kind of pay attention more instead of just saying, oh, this is mama, she just being protective and everything. And plus it also helps to have like a friend with you. Like I know we did this program called Worth Waiting For, and it was a whole bunch of people in there my age and my friends and everything. So we all learned at the same time, but I felt more comfortable having people around me my age.
Good point. Really good point, Michelle.
Okay, like what Ms. Kuchen and Ms. Jared said, like they are giving good points about like how the community can help and all this. But like I know friends like they've told, like they haven't announced it to people, but like their parents were like, oh my gosh, this is what happened. They told the community and everything. Y'all tell us that go get a voice out there, like the community can go get a voice and help people, but in real life, like they don't go help them at all. So I mean, these are good points, but like what can they do to make it feel like they're actually being helped by someone?
Wow. You talking in terms of trust? That's
well, see, the thing is, and this is my standpoint from it. They're scared to help you because we've all been in the time, and doesn't matter how old you are, you should know this by experience that we've all fallen down. But it was having somebody there to help pick us up that made us appreciate it. So that's all that they're needing is somebody just to help push them back up again and say, hey, it's never too late to start over. Hey, you may have made a mistake, but this is your chance to shine again. And so that's what the community needs to be doing, reaching out and leaning a hand and picking somebody up instead of putting them down all the time.
Okay. All right. Raekwon?
And in addition to that, I also think that you being a teenager looking for help, you should go look for help, like reside in the people who are actually going to veer you into the right direction. Don't tell people your secrets who are going to misuse it and just veer you in the wrong direction, because anybody can tell you anything, and just because they're your parents, you might believe it because you think they're telling you the truth, not just trying to be parents.
I definitely, absolutely, positively agree with Ms. Kutain and also with Mr. Jarrett in terms of making sure you have that individual around you, young people, that's going to give the right information. We say all the time it takes a village to raise a child, but I would say it takes a healthy village to raise a healthy child. So in that regard, I believe that we have to make sure, that I know you want to talk to other people, but make sure the people you're talking to is giving you good information. And on that note, Jasmine, I want you to chime in. What do you have to say? Not Jasmine, but Mercedes.
I was just going back to what Michelle said about how she felt uncomfortable with talking to her mom about it. Now, my parents, when I turned to a teenager, they started telling me about how my body's gonna start changing and I'm gonna start developing these certain feelings for guys, and they might talk me into doing stuff. They sat me and my brother down, and they was like, "This is what happens. This is what we need you to protect you with," because my parents believe if you put it in our face enough instead of hiding it, we're not gonna want to do it because we already know about it. They taught us about everything, drugs, everything. We knew everything. When we came here, I talked to my friends about it, and my friends was like, "Oh no, me and my parents don't talk. We don't talk about stuff like that. We don't ever talk about stuff like that." And I was like, "But then doesn't that make you more interested in it?" They were like, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, that's the difference in my family. That's why my whole family, we don't have any teen pregnancies in our family at all."
And you know, just to piggyback on what you just said, you know, some parents do take that approach where they you know, again, my whole basis is information. I do the same thing. I talk to my teen daughter about it, whether she feels comfortable. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. So, you know, I do the thing because we're fortunate enough, like I said, me and my wife are together, so there's two parents in the home, and sometimes, you know, you do the thing where you send the wife in the room like, okay, go ahead and, you know, have the talk, you know, and you know, she might come out and raise the thumb up, or she might come down like,
you go in.
Your turn. You know, and we tag team out. But the idea is just to get the information out. I mean, we're talking about a natural occurrence, you know, but again, when we're talking about teenage pregnancy prevention,
that's right,
we have to make sure that the youth are equipped with the right information about, again, their decisions, their readiness, and the consequences, whether positive or negative, to the decisions that they make. And that's the, you know, that's the summation of the idea. You know, get that information to them so that is real and it's accurate information.
Too, and I like what Mercedes said, that, you know, the more that she had information, it's empowering for you. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
And what we don't realize sometimes as parents, I'm the mother of 6 children, yes, and a wonderful husband of 34 years, but what we don't realize sometimes as parents is what we're hiding or not sharing can be hurting the children as well. So even studies show that children that are given information about abstinence and contraception, they tend to make a better choice and most often will choose abstinence if they're given the other values and morals and support to go along with that. So by not talking about it does not stop that behavior. Sometimes, as she said, it will make them more curious. So if they want to know, let's give them the information. Ultimately, they're going to have to make the choice.
That's right.
And they, as you said, and they need to know what the consequences of that choice could be. But we don't want our children to be without knowledge because that leaves them vulnerable.
That's good. Good point. Michelle?
And on another thing, when you said information, I think it helps to show, you know, what you're talking about. I mean, you may say one thing, but showing it is another. Because I know when I saw the effects, like, of course you go around and sometimes you see people pregnant and stuff, but that's one thing. Like, seeing a STD and seeing all this different stuff made me scared.
Yeah, the visuals.
So, yeah, the visuals, they make a difference. Because I would not do something like that right now.
Taking that, keeping it real approach. And listen, unfortunately, we have to do a part 2. Our time is almost up. So what I want to do now is, Ms. Kutain, I need you to give us a closing remark, and then also you, Mr. Jarrett, and then, of course, we like the fun part. We're going to do some shout-outs.
I'd just like to close by saying that our family outreach, we do have teen pregnancy prevention programs as well as intervention programs. For those that have become pregnant, we have services available. And for those that are preventing pregnancies, we have services as well to offer you that education and support. So
what if someone wants to get in contact with you or Horry County let me ask that again. Okay. What if someone wants to get in touch with you, Ms. Kutain, at Family Outreach of Horry County? What's that number?
That number is 843-234-2350.
Okay. And you, Mr. Jarrett, closing remark.
Closing remark, very simply, again, knowledge is power. You know, whenever dealing with teenage pregnancy prevention, inform the kids, let them know, try to keep it as simple, keep it as real, keep it as realistic and practical as possible. And again, Father's Place, we specialize in parenting, working with fathers, working with dads. The door stays open. I usually do most of the talking to young kids, young youth that come through the door. We have an open door policy. Anytime you want to speak, we actually go out to the schools also and talk and give presentations as well. And if anybody wanted to reach us or contact us, we have three office locations. One right here in Conway, the other one is in Myrtle Beach, and the other one is a relatively new office in Georgetown County as well. The phone number is area code 843-488-2923, or you can reach us at www.afathersplace.org to check out the website.
Hey, this is Jasmine Smith. I want to give a shout out to our mom, Lisa and Greg Smith, and my dad, too.
Hey, this is Mercedes. I'd like to give a shout out to Conway High's theater group and Alice of Wonderland. Yeah, all right, doing it big.
This is Johnny Ray, and I'd like to give a shout out to my my family and my parents, Johnny and Star Ray, my little brother Aaron, and everybody at Conway High School.
This is Raekwon Groover, and I'd like to give a shout out to Bell's Bay Apartments.
All right.
Hey. I'm just saying.
This is Michelle DeBerry, and I would like to shout out to my parents, Tina and David DeBerry.
Tina.
And Sadie shouted out to Cast Alice in Wonderland, but I want to shout out the director, Mr. Brandon Frazier.
This is Brianna Bellamy. I want to give a shout out to my dad, Robert Bellamy, my grandma, Credan Bellamy.
This is DeAndre. I want to give a shout out to, for one, Tanisha for being an awesome director today, telling us what to do. And also, my mom, Utaka Grisset. How you doing, boo?
I want to give a shout out to my family, my mom and dad, Tessa Green and Eddie Frazier, and my grandma, Beatrice Green.
Oh, Grandma.
This is Sierra. I was wanting to give a shout out to my mom and my daddy, Kenneth and Shawnette Gathers.
Yo, it's your boy Brandon Muhammad, Chicago. Give a shout out to my...
Stop. Do that again. Yeah, come on now. Do Brandon over. Do this over.
I'm sorry.
All right. Quiet, guys.
Go ahead, Brandon.
All right, this is Brandon Muhammad, a.k.a. Chicago. I give a shout out to my sister, my niece, my nephew, and the whole Pinecrest area.
Pinecrest.
This is Ariana Rivens. A shout out to my parents, Talisha and Antoine Rivens, and my sister, Taryn.
This is Ari Brantley. I would like to give a shout out to my parents, Wardell, Christy Brantley, and all my brothers and sisters and people at Whittemore Park.
Okay, Miss Kutain, you got to do your shout outs.
This is Miss Kutain, and I'd like to shout out to the Kutain family.
20 of them.
They deep. She wanted me to give a shout out to her. So.
Let's everybody say we love you, Christine. We love you, Christine. Sound on. We invite you to join this conversation. All you have to do is simply log on to www.wesoundoff.com and you can be a part of this discussion. Sound on.
Rated T14.